Hello everyone, my name is Mikel, I am the game designer at Avocado Games, and I will be presenting you today Laser Soul. In Laser Soul, we are immersed in a futuristic world which has been corrupted by a nano AI developed by a company called RGB Electronics, whose aim was at first to help people and make their lives easier. However, RGB Electronics lost control of their nano AI, which started invading all organic life, plants, animals, and finally humans. We'll play as Nero, our main character, who was one of the few people who did not trust RGB Electronics from the beginning, and who has vowed to free the world from that corruption. She developed Chroma, a gadget which can be transformed into a sword or even a hoverboard, based on your needs. With Chroma as a sword, we can hit the enemies in unique ways by executing combos. There are a total of 4 different combos. With Chroma as a hoverboard, we can dash to avoid enemies, reach certain parts of the level, or even use it to travel during a specific section of the game dedicated to this mechanic, which are different from the core gameplay, providing a bit of calm between fights. Another interesting mechanic is the purification, which will let you purify enemies from the corruption instead of defeating them. Based on the player's life, upon defeating an enemy, it might get into a purifiable state in which the player can perform a quick time event. Doing so, the player will heal and will fill his focus bar, allowing it to perform the ultimate attack, the call. Focus also fills up when hitting and defeating enemies, but at a slower pace. The call is basically an area of effect attack that will damage all the enemies on the screen based on how charged the bar was when triggered. Along the game, you will encounter 5 different kinds of enemy. In this case, we have the corrupted wolf, which will attack us by jumping on the player dealing pain damage to him. The deer is a target enemy whose hit is extremely dangerous and must be avoided if the player wants to survive. Upon hitting a wall, however, it will get stunned and will give the player the perfect opportunity to fight it. The corrupted frog is a poisonous enemy, releasing lethal gas clouds that we should avoid. It will make damage over time to the player. Normally, they will be in groups and will run from the player when hit. The most effective way of dealing with them is using the laser combo or the ground slam. The crow is one of the most annoying enemies. They will appear in flocks and will follow the player over an area or until defeated. They attack one by one, so the best strategy is to be patient and wait for the right moment to strike. Crows are weak and only require one hit to be defeated. And finally, the corrupted plant. It acts as a turret capable of shooting Nero from a distance. It is better to eliminate them as soon as you can. Their bullets will explode in a gas area upon hitting a wall, like the frogs. However, the plant will need some time to reload, allowing the player to attack without any danger. Upon completion of both the forest and the city level, we will encounter the final boss, which turns out to be Nero's father corrupted by nanotechnology. The final boss is not fought directly. Instead, it spawns all the enemies that you encountered during the game, forcing you to fight using all mechanics together. Once you end up with its energy and defeat all the enemies, you will free his world and your father from the corruption, destroying RGB's laboratories. And that is all. On behalf of all the team, thank you for watching and we hope you enjoy the game.
Hello, I'm Santiago Kempens. I'm the lead animator and one of the producers for Team Vulcanized, and I'm here today to present our project titled Souls of Iliad. Our game takes place in ancient Greece, inside a magical, ever-expanding labyrinth. Because of this, no 2 expeditions into it will ever result with the same outcome. where some may journey in and get little resistance from the inhabitants of the labyrinth. Others may be overwhelmed the moment they enter the first chamber. Because of this, all who enter may choose one of 3 weapons: sword, mace, or a shield. Each has their own strengths. The sword is quick and can deal successive damage. The mace always lands a crushing blow. And lastly, as the age-old saying goes, sometimes the best offense is a good defense. Do not worry though, if you feel you are at a greater disadvantage against ranged enemies. Why, you may ask? Because as every soldier knows, one always comes with a trusty arm-mounted crossbow when leaving on an expedition. They may be a bit rough, but as you slay more creatures and progress deeper into the labyrinth, you will be given the opportunity to use the souls you've collected to strengthen your equipment at a forge. The inhabitants of the labyrinth are creatures of old, from simple lumbering corpses to the more dangerous Greek cryptids like the satyr or the cyclops. Though, at least you do not have to worry about encountering a minotaur, as this is not the famous labyrinth of Knossos. Oops. During your expedition, you'll also be given the opportunity to enjoy the views of the labyrinth, from the lush greenery of the upper floors, to the damp, dark, cavernous underground level, to the piping hot core, all the while enjoying the classical Greek architecture and stonework, which was one of the major inspirations for the visual look of the game. The art of the game helps this by having many recurring themes like those that could be found at a museum of Greek history. From sequences etched into the doors, to the statues made out of stone that are scattered throughout the labyrinth. Thank you all for watching, and I wish you the best of luck on your expedition into the labyrinth, because the gods know you will need it.
Hey buddy, this is your boss talking. Now I'm gonna be with you on your first day just to make sure of some things. Anyway, welcome to the company. Okay, pay attention. You will have to deliver some packages in different locations, so make sure you follow the shortest route so you don't arrive late. What is that amazing device on your hand, you ask? That's our patented paint gun. A totally original and innovative invention that will help you deliver those packages with ease, and maybe some bruises. The paint gun is an indispensable tool for our employees here at Zonk Deliveries. Need some speed? Shoot some orange paint and zoom away. Go as fast as you want. Do you need to get to a high place? Just splash some blue paint on the ground and jump. Uh-oh, did you make a big mess? Just clean it with some water, you nasty boy. I will be talking to you over the phone from time to time. There you can also see all of the important info about your next delivery. How far, how much time you have left. So be careful. If those stars get to 0, your customer won't be very happy. And your review won't be, let's say, pleasant to read. Come on, don't be shy. Why don't you have a nice conversation with that guy? Okay, enough. Keep working. Now go have some fun. Just don't break your legs. Or the gun. Actually, forget about the legs. Don't break the gun.
Our game is a 2D platformer in which the player will be able to travel through strange worlds at high speeds, with its final goal being completing all the missions in the shortest time possible. The main character of our video game is Carl. He is the newest employee at Zonk Deliveries, the biggest and well-known delivery company in the galaxy. It's Kark's first day at work, and he is eager to begin his career as a professional delivery alien. However, nothing in this place is what it seems at first. The player's objective is to get all the packages sent to the corresponding customers as fast as possible. The current destination is shown on the HUD, at the top left of the screen. This HUD will also display the current distance from the target, as well as the performance, indicated by the star rating system at the bottom. In order to add the speed factor, Garg is also equipped with an experimental paint gun that will allow him to modify the world around him. It's loaded with 2 different fluids. The orange paint makes him slide and run faster, while the light blue one makes him bounce higher. Both can be used to open new paths for the player and swiftly get the packages sent to the customers. Garg can also clean up any existing paint stains that may mess up his mission with a water gun. Once the player reaches the current destination, small dialogue will appear on the screen. This dialogue will vary depending on whether the package was sent within the time limit or not. After the chat finishes, the start rating system will show the final performance of the mission, before giving guard the next delivery's site location. One of the quirks of this game is that all stages are absolutely free of enemies. They might be forks in the road, dead ends, or even large variety of space fauna and flora that will react when the player touches them. As funny as this may seem, one must not get distracted. Cause Big Boss is always watching, and will be putting some extra pressure if he's caught slogging off during working hours. What strange aliens will you meet during your travels? What will they buy? And will they be happy with your service? Let's find out on Zonk Deliveries. Zonk Deliveries is not responsible for any quantum swapping, brainwashing, or black holes that may occur while playing the game.
Hello, my name is Chris and I'm representing Team Curry today to tell you about our new game, Arclight 2. In this game, you and your opponent duel against each other with dodgeballs in a closed environment. The goal of the game is simple. You must hit your opponent with your dodgeball 5 times in order to win. You can shoot the ball in front of you to hit your opponent, or if you miss, it will bounce off of the environment. You can recall your ball at any point to return it to your hand so that you can shoot the ball again. Here's where the main mechanic comes into play. You and your opponent have the ability to manipulate tiles in the environment at will. Tiles can be lifted up or down, which you can use to create and destroy structures that will help defend against your opponent or for you to get an advantage. However, doing this costs energy. Doing this too often will cause it to run out, leaving you unable to do anything more than just moving around while you wait for it to recharge. The same concept applies to sprinting, which likewise consumes energy to increase your movement speed. Besides these basic abilities, every player also has 2 perks. One active perk, which can be activated at will, and one passive perk, which is constantly active. Active perks, for example, allow you to create force fields that deflect balls, to teleport to a ball that you've just thrown, or to slow down balls thrown by your opponent. Passive perks, meanwhile, act more as boosts, such as giving yourself more energy, giving you the ability to double jump, or being able to charge the ball before shooting it to make it fly faster. Besides this, the game will also trigger random events that change the nature of the game in an interval. One event may lift a random set of tiles so that they form additional obstacles, another might rotate the environment upside down to switch things up a bit, and the last introduces another goal that players can hit to score an extra point. Here's a gameplay example. The 2 players are spawned into the game across from each other. The opponent activated their shield perk to protect themselves from our ball. We move closer to our opponent with our teleport perk to get an advantage. We hit them, scoring a point. A random event causes a gold ball to spawn in the middle of the arena. The opponent creates a staircase to get into an advantageous position. After some time, we hit them again. Arclight 2 is currently playable in local and LAN multiplayer modes. Thank you for listening, and we hope that you'll enjoy Arclight 2.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello everyone, and welcome aboard the Z0C H1E. This is Nestor from Tosacoin Studios, and today we'll be presenting Mecha Invaders. In Mecha Invaders, you incarnate a member of the ship and must hold off the invading mechas that are trying to steal the stellar energy that powers your engines. Along with a crew of 3 friends, you must make use of a variety of weapons and upgrades to defend your ship from the invasion, all while fixing it from the damage caused by the enemies. Gear up, aim and destroy your opponents in order to collect money that will allow you to improve your equipment and buy new weapons, such as the blaster. For the Kaufman assault rifle. As well as temporary upgrades like extra agility, extra damage, or even an extra life. But be careful though, do not get swarmed by the enemies or it's over for you. Traverse the ship, open doors and take advantage from its design to elaborate strategies that will allow you to come out victorious out of any dangerous situation. But be wary, sometimes you will need to fix some parts of the ship, or else you will get penalized. Partner up with your friends in multiplayer mode, work together, and test how long you can resist the invasion.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hello guys, my name is Paulo Riesco, a tools, engine and gameplay programmer of Archimedes Bathtub. Today I'm going to present you our game, Civilizations. Civilizations is a 3D local and LAN multiplayer boat fighting game, where players have to collect a set amount of chalices and escape the map to win. It's scheduled for release in summer 2021 on PC. Players will be able to choose between 5 different boats, each one with different stats and abilities. Let's start by showing the Spanish galleon, a fearsome gigantic ship equipped with 2 rows of cannons on each side of the cask. The Spanish galleon is a slow boat with an outstanding amount of health, capable of withstanding many attacks while approaching enemies, then counter-attacking with a hail of iron cannonballs. If the galleon is too far from battle, it can also launch a powerful mortal projectile that will create a huge explosion where it lands. Following up, we have the Phantom Galleon, a smaller and much more agile version of the Spanish galleon that can dive into the sea to ambush enemy boats and smash them with its lethal cannons. Next up is the Trireme, a Greek fast boat that when it is sailed by oars, it can catch breakneck speeds and hit the opponents with its destructive ram. The Trireme can also drop some explosive barrels that will explode upon contact with enemies, preventing enemy boats from pursuing it. The radio-controlled frigate is a small modern boat that can snipe players with its fast turret shot. If enemies spot it, the frigate can rely on its secret attack, a remote-controlled torpedo that can be exploded beneath the other boats, causing big damage. Finally, there's the Chinese Zonk, a feeble average speed boat that uses pyrotechnic attacks. It can launch a sequence of consecutive fireworks at a distance, or it can rely on its short-range flamethrower for any enemies that dare to approach it. Now let's see these boats in action. All players start holding a chalice at one corner of the map. To win, they will have to collect a certain number of chalices, which depend on the number of players in the game. The more players in the game, the more chalices you will have to collect. The first time your health reaches 0, you will drop 1 chalice, but be careful. The more your boat is sunk, the more chalices you will drop. Once you have the necessary amount of chalices to win, escape through the fog, and you will win. Now we will show you some example battles between some boats in different maps. That's all from me now. Stay tuned for the game's release, and see you at Civilizations.
Where am I? God, this place is huge. How did I end up here?
Hey you! Over here!
What? But wait, what is this place? Wait!
Look a bit lost, don't ya?
Not funny.
Watch out!
Wow, what is this?
This, my friend, is what brought you here. We must switch on the energy to create a portal that brings you back home.
This place is gonna collapse! We gotta go now!
Hurry up!
Come with me!
Go on ahead! It's time!
Hi there, we're Asback Games and we'd like to introduce to you the mechanics of our game, Forgotten Journey.
Where am I? God, this place is huge. How did I end up here?
Hey you! Over here!
What? But wait!
Let's start with the pressure plates. This world is full of obstacles and closed doors. Therefore, you'll first have to activate some switches in order to advance. Some of these switches will be easy to interact with, but some others will require the help of our companion. Throughout the game, you will have to find a way to continue forward, either jumping, climbing, and also crossing dangerous spaces, contemplating the beautiful views of the planet. Pay special attention to the butterflies that populate this exotic world, because they'll be a guiding clue if you get lost. One of the many ways to advance will be by moving and pushing elements of the scenery.
You're gonna have to get up there.
Seriously?
It looks risky, I know, but this is the only way.
We have to be aware of everything surrounding us. Climbing system is one of the most important mechanics of the game and allows us to continue forward. In addition to other mechanics we have mentioned, there are also other puzzles to be solved, based on logic and observation. We place some cameras and cinematics to show not only the magnificence of the local civilization, but also to tell a little bit about what happened and how we got there. In essence, you will have to explore, interact, and think of how to escape from this planet while you discover the story behind it. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy the game.
Wait!
Look a bit lost, don't ya?
Not funny.
Watch out!
Wow, what is this?
This, my friend, is what brought you here. We must switch on the energy to create a portal that brings you back home.
This place is gonna collapse! We gotta go now!
Hurry up!
Come with me!
Go on ahead! It's time!
Eyes of Minerva is a linear, stealth, first-person puzzle game. In our game, the player will have to infiltrate the subterranean headquarters as stealthily as they can. Low on ammo and resourceless, they will have to use objects they find in the room, abandoned grenades and rare ammunition canisters to dispose of or escape from the enemies that Minerva, an evil AI, has used to defend herself in her bunker. The player will have the following 4 tools at their disposal. The distraction. The player will be able to grab objects around the level that will break when thrown, attracting nearby enemies to investigate the source of the sound. The gun. The player will have a very limited amount of bullets, which will allow him to dispose of an enemy quickly, usually after making a mistake and being seen. However, as with most guns, when shot, the sound will echo through the walls of the level, making bloodthirsty enemies swarm towards your position. The grenade. The player will be able to throw a highly futuristic grenade, which he will then be able to detonate, creating an electric explosion that will stun nearby enemies for a short amount of time, allowing the player to walk around the enemy or get up close to perform our final attack. The takedown. By far the most powerful tool. If the player manages to sneak up behind the enemy, the player will be able to perform a brutal takedown that will smash the enemy's eye into pieces. Unlike the gun, you'll be as quiet as a mouse, so you won't have to worry about being hurt. Apart from the previously mentioned tools, the player will have one final resource, their agility. Our character is able to rappel down walls, climb onto ledges, and vault over tables to escape from enemies that are chasing her down. Now onto the main characters of our game. The player will encounter 3 types of enemies acting as Minerva's eyes. The Sentinel. This enemy will stand their ground, blocking off entire pathways and forcing the player to find alternate routes to advance. Sensing the tiniest movement in their cone of vision, the Sentinel will fire away and rip a hole through anything it finds. The Hornet. This enemy will patrol an area, flying over obstacles, searching for the player. However, it won't kill you right away like the Sentinel. This enemy will attempt to scan the player and determine whether they are a threat. Upon completing the scan, the Hornet will send out a signal to other nearby enemies, alerting them of your presence. Make sure to kill it before it finishes. After that, it will hone in and burn you to a crisp with its electric weapons. Finally, we get to the Spider, the bloodthirstiest of the 3. Upon seeing you, this animal will hunt you down and pounce on you to make sure you don't get any closer to Minerva. As you've probably noticed, all the enemies have a red sphere. This is the eye of the enemy, and destroying it, whether that is through a gunshot or by crashing it with your hand, it's your only hope of disposing of any of these enemies. Finally, we have Minerva herself. The player will have to take cover from her attacks as she attempts to disintegrate them with her lightning. Take her down, eye by eye, until you reach her. It all comes down to this.
Hello everyone, my name is Amaya, the art producer of the team Caillou in the Bayou, and I'm here to show you the game that we have been working on for these past months. Mirlo, Above the Sun. Mirlo Above the Sun is an action platforming hack and slash game in which you must defeat enemies in order to save all the beasts and retrieve your home. Mirlo's core mechanics are dash, attack, and jump. With the dash, Mirlo is able to shift around quickly and push enemies away, which gives her the opportunity to throw them off cliffs, rooftops, and other high places. She can also perform a melee attack and a jump to get high on places or dodge obstacles. There are 4 types of enemies. The melee. It's the simplest of all the enemies, and the one you will encounter the most. Whenever it attacks, its single eye will turn red and will dash towards you to hit you. The bomber. It moves by running on itself and opens up to shoot bombs. You can either defeat them with the basic attack or throw their own bombs back at them. There are 2 types of bomber, the normal bomber and the lava bomber. The Solar Knight. This enemy is composed of 2 entities, the Knight and his battery. The Knight is a statue that only comes to life when the battery is close enough to power him. They both are invulnerable, and the Knight cannot be pushed. To defeat the Solar Knight, you will have to disconnect his battery by throwing it off the platform. This will shut him down and allow you to destroy him. The Bulldozer. You will encounter this enemy on 2 different occasions. The first time, it will chase you through the city, destroying everything on its path while you escape dodging obstacles. On the second time, it will be a boss fight. The Bulldozer will charge against you, throw you normal bombs and lava bombs. Your final goal is to save all the beasts trapped in the turrets. These devices extract energy from them and shoot it at you. In order to save the beast, you will have to break the turrets so they can happily fly away. The story follows Mirlo's adventure to recover her home. The Solarian civilization, a totalitarian regime in search of wealth and growth, attacked the forest and kidnapped the beast, as they discovered that they could extract from them a source of energy that would power their cities. Mirlo wants her home back, so she must free all the beasts. Thanks for listening, and see you above the sun.